My miners are as dumb as rocks are gray.
Hello. Of course. Thorin runs an inn. It's on the main road, just as you're coming into town. The Wind Peak. Dawnstar has just about everything you could need. Orlug runs the general goods store, just down the road a bit from the inn. If you're in need of a blacksmith, look for Rustly for Seren. And Frida, she's an alchemist, runs the Mortar and Pestle down by the port. Anything you want to know. We've got the port and we've got the mines. Dawnstar does better than you might expect. And there are always so many interesting people, always coming and going. I've really grown to love it. Well, we've retired from our old lives, but I like to keep busy. We purchased a small cattle farm, just past Ironbreaker mine. Shortly after, we moved here. No, I'm from North Point in High Rock. I moved here with my wife, Alfhildir. Yes, but it was worth it. Alfhildir and I have spent most of our lives living apart. She was always traveling. Here we can be together at last. I arrested her. Yes, really. Alfhildir was the commander of a merchant ship, and I led the port customs inspection team, sent out to inspect it. Like most merchant ships, it was carrying something that wasn't on the bill of lading, and we just happened to find it this time. So, I had to arrest her. She was most put out. She knew it was a risk when she did it, and I was just doing my job. We understood each other's position. She paid her fine, and the matter was behind us. Once it was... well, things progressed delightfully from there. And here we are. She's just as lovely now as she was then. Well, no. She was traveling most of the time, while I had to stay home. We spent far too many years like that, although the times we could be together were lovely. Finally, here we could be properly married, and be together always. If I can stop her going out in that ridiculous little boat of hers. Yes, she sold her big vessel when she retired. She had no need of it anymore, but she kept one of the smaller boats. She says sometimes the land feels too steady and she needs to get the sea under her for a while. I just worry. She's not getting any younger. Goodbye.
The Mortar and Pestle makes potions, if you can't tell from the name. Just the Mortar and Pestle has cures for every illness, from ataxia to whitbane. How kind! At my age, I've certainly learned how to spend wisely. More coin means more supplies, and that means more useful bombs, potions, and remedies for everyone. My husband. We used to go out into the wilds and collect ingredients together. He used to call me his pretty juniper. It's quite romantic, if you're an alchemist. Frost took the old fool a few seasons back while he was looking for the ring of pure mixtures. I found the ring's resting place after he died, but I'm far too old to go exploring some cave now. Well, aren't you sweet? I'd be happy to give you some alchemy training in exchange for the ring if you bring it to me. I'm the oldest woman in Dawnstar. Was here when Skald the Elder was Skald the Younger. He's a fool if you haven't met him already. Thinks Ulfric Stormcloak is invincible and spits dragon fire. The people here look to Brina Merilus when they need things settled. Real firebrand going up. Wasn't surprised when she joined the Legion. You take care of yourself now.
Hello. Bye.
Ironbreaker mine is 3 times the worth of that Quicksilver mine. And it's fathead.
Running low on bait.
Quicksilver Mine is the best mine in Dawnstar, and you can tell those Ironbreaker miners I said so. That would be Skald the Elder. He's been running Dawnstar ever since he was a boy, and he never lost that brat's attitude. Turned on the Empire first chance he got. Now we're all part of this rebellion. If you don't mind digging, I own the Quicksilver Mine. It's a better life than working in that damned Ironbreaker mine with all those milk drinkers. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Aye.
Can I help you? Look, I'm very busy and I don't have time to be acting as your tour guide. Is there something specific I can help you with, or...? I run the East Empire shipping warehouse. I do all of the necessary administrative work. Crotty, our porter, does most of the physical work. I'm really very busy. Are we about done here? Try the inn? Perhaps check a shop. They're usually marked with signs. Can't miss them. Now, if you don't mind. Take care.
Need something? Yeah,
I mine. Work the smelter. Ain't much else to tell.
Dangerous post, Dawnstar. If the bandits don't get you...
Move it, move it!
I work in the mine just like everyone else.
Wouldn't it be something if we found a vein of gold?
Plenty of quicksilver to dig.
Used to be twice as many miners working here before all this trouble started.
Heard 'em. Quicksilver ore is rare, worth digging.
Been mining all my life. Quicksilver's as much my home.
I plan to spend all the days I got left on the water. It's where I belong.
I'm not taking orders from a boy, but I need to go.
What is it? That's a good question. I like the ocean, but I don't love it. I'm not like these salt sniffers who use clams as coin purses and have more barnacles on their crotch than hair. I guess I chose it because it's the thing I hate the least. And every day I see these miners work out soaked in sweat, I realise I made the right choice. Although, if I were a miner, I reckon I'd figure out some way to weasel out of working. No point breaking your back for a job with no future. It's true. The first few years of labour and toil like the rest of them. You got no choice when you're a cruise attack. Only once you've lived through a couple storms, don't matter how poorly you scrub the deck or how much ale. Out in the open sea, you never know when you're going to be surrounded by rogue waves and gales that will flog your backside. When that time comes, when it's nothing but your crew standing between you and the bottom of the ocean, you want a deckhand with experience. So I have no trouble finding work, even if I plan on doing so little of it. Well, the ship's got but one mast, so it's not the fastest vessel and it doesn't handle particularly well either. But she's sturdy and has a hull bigger than a witness's backside, so you know the cargo is going to get there, if not on time. I've yet to see a storm strong enough to capsize her, although one came close when we were off the coast of the Iliac Bay. It wasn't really a storm so much as the waves. They eddied and swayed in no direction, as if the ocean itself was confused. When the eye hit us, I ran over to the port side and emptied my stomach. It's then that I saw a school of shadowy figures passing the hull. Dolphins, I thought. Only something was odd about the way their tails lashed out of the water, and the curve of their bodies was what black moonfish eye. Heads. Long, wispy, almost like hair. And when it strummed the water, I could almost hear the melody of the ocean in my head. Heard of such creatures, but these were deep ones. No place for a serpent in them. And it doesn't explain the tail section. Shaped like the fluke of a whale, it shivered and flat. Sure, it happened when I was but a minnow, working on a different boat. I was more stowaway, deckhand. Now you hear stories about men going overboard, getting swept away by a rough wind or mad from the reef. Most of them get picked up, but some captains will let a man drown. If that happens, there is no way a man can survive. Except in this world. We found the man, 8 days off the shore, and there he was, clinging to a plank out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe if he was an Argonian, it would have made sense. Only this man was Imperial, and by all accounts he had nothing more than a cold. He never said so much as a word the rest of the voyage, but he had the crew spooked. It was more than just the circumstances of his arrival. Foolish as I was, I tried to speak with him once, and the captain himself wrenched me aside and told me to stay away. Yes, no. It wasn't until we docked at Solitude and the Imperial went his way that the captain took me aside. He asked me, "Are you blind, boy? Did you not see the dagger? The way that Imperial was dressed?" I was never much one for paying attention, but like the sailor of mapping the constellation, I began to connect the stars. It's not as if the clothes and the dagger hailed from across the ocean, but they were just foreign enough to be strange. I suppose you know not the history, boy, but the hilt on his dagger and the style of his tunic are not from this time. Yet, that dagger was as fresh as codling, forged maybe 3 weeks before we left dock, and not a sign of rust. I don't have to respect the boy to like him. He inherited the ship from his hag mother, and it's nothing short of a miracle. I do. I've served under a few captains in my day, and most of them were unruly taskmasters. Fortunately, the boy is as soft as seaweed. Grew up on land with his father, some coin count from the East Empire. So the boy has no experience at sea and even less with men. He doesn't like raising his voice, telling the crew what to do. Well, if his mother hears him to be assertive, confident, the boy certainly tries to be, and some days he halfway gets there. Only being halfway confident is like being halfway pregnant. All I have to do is complain a bit, and you'll fall faster than a torn sail. It's a good thing to do. The boy is too scared of Ravam, and he doesn't like pushing with him when he's old age. That just leaves me. Greener than bronze, just as when right ears. The boy needs a bloody chart just to find his crotch. The other day, he got the lover and the shadow mixed up and nearly sailed us right into a glacier teeming with ice wraiths. Thank the divine as Guthrum smacked the boy and took the helm. The place was a stunning death trap. I almost would have preferred the captain sail us into oblivion. One of these days, he just might. That's not likely. It takes stones to strip a man of his livelihood. It's like killing someone when you have to look them in the eye. It's you and you alone has to tell him his children will starve. You have to stand before him, man to man, and tell him he has to sell his wife to a stronghold to spend the rest of her life with some orc love slave. Only the captain wouldn't do that. He wants to be liked. He cares too much. We aren't sailors to him, we're family. Nothing good ever came out of caring. There is two ways to happiness in this world. One's bitter and comes in a bottle. The other's just learning to be cold. Well, having emotions is like gambling or investing in a shop. Ravam's betting on pride. If he becomes a captain someday, all that bitterness and envy he feels now will pay off. If he doesn't, well, he'll start to resent himself as much as he resents the world. Guthrum's invested in romance. The old Orker wants one last voyage, and if it doesn't come, it'll only leave him regretful and unfulfilled. Of course, he's made his wager too. The ship's his mother's. Captain Thumbsucker, as Robin likes to call him, is a sentimental boy. He wants to walk the same path as the old wench. If he fails, no amount of pity will brighten his spirits. On the other hand, if you don't care whether you succeed or fail, sit back, relax, and enjoy some cold mead. By admitting you can't win, a man can never lose. Ravam is the gunmer who's always complaining about the captain. True, the Southern Elf's lazier than I am. He has too much pride to let another. Gonna find a new ship, he says. Heh, where else can a man get paid to lie around the dock all day and hoot at the mining guns? Planes, that's the pride talking. He doesn't like taking orders from a child. You'll get over it. As soon as Shane appeared to help him, Ravam is prideful and ambitious. Bad mix of ale, if you ask me. The first thing he'd want to do is prove he's a real captain. Not leave some risk venture out into the sea of ghosts. The sooner he stops caring about what people think, the sooner he'll be able to enjoy great Captain Surefire. The old mariner's got one foot in the trench already, and he ain't the type to make waves. Besides, He thinks the boy is learning. What he means by that is anyone's guess. The boy doesn't even know how to tie his shoes. Can't see how he can hoist a sail. I do, but wasn't sure if you wanted to hear my critique. Guthrum has one of those wispy moustaches that looks like a whale's flake. Man needs to act his age and get beard. That's what I found. Can't say as much of anything, which is probably for the best. Better than to not even try and grow one out. Fine. Right then.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. Yes, my collection of artifacts from a group that toppled an empire. Why don't you come in? You can browse the displays and we can talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside.
Can I help you? What do you need to take? We should keep moving.
Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned. The tapestries hung here and outside were found in hideouts, where members of the Mythic Dawn would meet and plot. The cult's greatest accomplishment was the assassination of the Septim dynasty and the opening of the Oblivion Gates. Ah, yes, that scabbard. Notice the insignia? An Oblivion Gate, a key symbol of Merienne's Dagon, the patron Daedra of the Mythic Dawn. That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes, the blasphemous book written by Merienne's Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Cameron used the book to open a portal to a paradise, where all his followers would live forever. The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Cameron. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Merienne's Dagon's side. Did you have any questions about the museum, or would you rather talk business? It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uriel Septim himself. We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill. They were worshippers of Mehrunes Dagon, the Daedric Lord of Destruction and Change. The Mythic Dawn killed Uriel Septim VII and his heirs, triggering the events that led to the Oblivion Crisis when the Daedra invaded Tamriel. All that remains of the infamous cult I've gathered in my museum. Ah, an excellent question. Mehrunes Dagon is the Daedric Lord of Change, Destruction, and Ambition. Dagon's Mythic Dawn cult killed the Septim dynasty and opened the Oblivion gates into Tamriel. They called it the Oblivion Crisis. A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes' razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim. At least 2 of the owners, Gunzel and Draskua, are dangerous marauders, and the 3rd owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal. Here are my notes about them. I'll gladly pay you for getting the pieces any way you can. No questions asked. The razor is Mehrunes Dagon's personal artifact. It has always heralded bloody change and carnage. It's held many names. Dagger of the Final Wounds, Bane of the Righteous, the Kingslayer. The Mythic Dawn worshipped Dagon as a god. Having his razor would be invaluable to my collection. Our master craftsmen are nothing compared to the perfection of the Daedra. Look how it shines. Here's your gold, as promised. We just need the shards of the blade and the hilt now. Good luck finding the fragments.